back into the Infinity Sports Network. My name is Danielle McCartan with you. Happy to be with you on this Saturday afternoon here in New York City. On the phone lines, live, we've got Carolyn Tisch-Blodgett, the governor, the league owner of Gotham FC, NWSL board member, and elected chair of NWSL Executive Committee. Carolyn, thanks so much for making the time for us today, and congrats to your Gotham FC second championship in 3 seasons.
Thank you. It sounds good when you say it like that. So anytime I want to talk about Gotham winning a championship, I'm ready to do it.
Let's do it. So take me back to the night. I saw you on TV. You're on that stage. You're receiving your medal. You're posing for pictures with the team, with the trophy. What were you thinking about?
So, gosh, I feel like it's been almost a week, and I still feel like I haven't digested it all. I would say, a few things. Maybe I'll start with, we really had a roller coaster season. Mm-hmm. I think for those not watching closely, it looks like any team, lifting a trophy and winning a championship, but that was certainly not our story. We started the season with actually a lot of questions about our postseason. We had a bunch of big name players leave. There were questions around, what are we doing? What are we building here? And so the off season last season was really, I would say, a lot of the work fell on me to really set what the culture of a team we wanted to be. I think when I came in as a new owner in 2023, there was so much heavy lifting of recreating the business team and opening an office and all that I think failed to set what the right culture was. And that was really important to me. So that was the work we did in the off season. And we did that, and we said, this is what it means to be a part of Gotham. You're either in or out. But the results didn't come right away. We really had an up and down season. So to be able to get through the postseason in truly the hardest possible playoff run, we went and beat the number 1 team in Kansas City in league history. We then went and beat Orlando, the defending champions. We then went and beat our biggest rival in Washington. So to be able to lift that trophy at the end, it just felt like, a year's worth of hard work paying off.
Yeah. I mean, when I was listening to Sarah Spain's podcast, and they were talking about like potential upsets. Number 8 Gotham versus number 1. And I was like, why is that even a question? I mean, of course Gotham's going to get it done. I mean, I'm a fan. I got to tell you.
I love that.
You're riding down Broadway.
I love that because
Go ahead.
You're one of the few people that felt that way, because I do, even though people say in sports you should never read the newspapers, I read everything. And every single thing I read was Kansas City winning the championship, Like, nobody is betting on us, but I knew I bet on us, and I had a feeling we were going to go all the way.
I actually should have bet like actual money on you guys, but I didn't. I just didn't think to. But riding down Broadway, confetti flying in the wind here in New York City, and we're national, but where have you displayed your key to New York City?
Oh, that's a really good question. I'm pretty sure it's in one of my kids' rooms right now, but I do need a more prominent place for it. So it sounds like you've been a fan for a while, so you know that when the team won in 2023, we failed to celebrate.
Yeah.
The team was not prepared. It turns out you can't put a celebration together in 24 hours. Mm-hmm. And so we really let our fan base down. And my commitment from the day after that happened in 2023 was the next time we win, which we didn't know when it was going to be, but we knew it would be sometime, that we were going to do it right. And so our marketing team did an incredible job putting that together. When we clinched the playoffs 9 weeks ago, mm-hmm. We reviewed that Monday morning. We reviewed an 80-page presentation of what the celebration was going to look like. So we were very prepared for that moment, which was great.
Now, I know the Giants back in the day, they used to have then a celebration at when it was Giant Stadium. And my dad still has the I was there pin from it still somewhere. I've seen it. So were there thoughts to, maybe next time have that celebration or something here in New Jersey too?
So we will very much be celebrating with our fans and our season ticket holders next season. Don't think that we're done celebrating yet. But what was critical for us was to celebrate this team in the way that every other championship winning team in New York has been celebrated, mm-hmm. which is a parade down Broadway and a Keys to the City celebration at City Hall. And so that felt like we didn't want the light version. We didn't want the women's sports version.
Right.
This is a championship winning team in a championship winning city, and this team deserves that. So that's what we did. The complicating factor, and since you're a fan, you probably understand the nuances of this, but we got so many questions of like, oh my God, why is it Monday morning? I can't get out of work. I can't get out of school. But It was really important to me personally that as many of our players as possible could be there. And many of our players, as you know, play for their countries as well.
Correct.
And they were leading into an international break. So I think 10 or 11 of our players would have to get on a plane Monday night. And that's why Monday morning was the only option to make sure that as many as could be there.
Understood. Thanks for clearing that up, because actually there were some calls about that last week. So, look, now...
And the other thing, sorry, just while we're on that, in case people had called in about this too, the other complicating factor is that, and so then in the CBA, all of the players have to be released 3 days after the game.
Okay.
So we couldn't say, okay, the players will go play for their country and then come back, because everyone else would be out of market by then.
Right.
But what's super complicated is that, which we've learned really all these details, is that the week of Thanksgiving, you cannot have an official ticker tape parade. So we had to get creative, and hopefully you saw, because of this, everyone in the city is, I guess, focused on the basic Thanksgiving Day parade. Mm-hmm. So we could not have an official ticker tape parade, but that's why you saw our buses all wrapped, with the Gotham Championship words and colors, and then a kind of an unofficial parade down Broadway.
I did see some confetti being blown, though, I guess it was then.
Yes, we did our own version, exactly. We bought our own confetti and made it our own ticker tape parade.
Okay, I mean, that works. It looks good. Look, and before you even started with Gotham FC, I mean, obviously, part of your last name is Tisch. So what lessons in ownership had you already learned before taking over Gotham FC while growing up, with your family as being co-owners of the New York Giants?
Yeah, my grandfather became the co-owner of the New York Giants when I was 6 years old. So I've had a front row seat to sports ownership pretty much my whole life.
Yep.
And what I saw, and I was a part of 2 of those parades. And actually, I pulled up the pictures when we were going through, the seating charts and the speeches. I kept pulling up the pictures from the Giants. Like, I know this is old, guys, but this is how it's supposed to be done. So I would say what I saw in those years and in all the years that my family has been a part of the Giants is really how to lead from the top, and how much a culture is set by ownership and set by the stability of a family-run organization. I think one of the things that's been really important to me for all of our players and all of our staff joining Gotham is they don't just feel like they're joining this kind of team with no name with like no personality and no person behind it, that they are really joining the Gotham family. And they are every one of our players and our staff is moving or walking away from, leaving family behind, being on the road all the time, even if their family is here with them. They're making a tremendous sacrifice. And so to feel like they are a part of a family and a part of building something bigger, I think makes a lot of the hard work worth it.
Now, last Sunday, I came in here wearing my Carly Lloyd number 10 Gotham t-shirt. And as you know, I'm a fan before I'm a talk show host. Don't tell anybody. But as you mentioned, the team overcame a lot of adversity this season. And so from your role as lead owner of Gotham FC, how involved are you in the day-to-day operations? And then in turn, I guess, what are your thoughts of what's going on in Indianapolis with Carly Arsay-Gordon?
So I don't have a headset like Carly, although many people have sent me that meme. I think she's done a tremendous job. I'm very involved with Gotham, but I did not grow up playing soccer. I didn't professionally play any sports. So for me, I'm very involved in the decision making in the day to day, but I needed to learn it. So our general manager, Riel Aver-Bush-West, our coach, Juan Carlos Amros, they've all spent, hours and hours with me, breaking down every decision, helping me understand the different tactics, thinking about the locker room culture, because I've been a part of successful organizations before, and I've been a part of sports, but I've never run a women's soccer team before. So I am very involved in the decision making, but I also know where my expertise ends and theirs is. And so as much as I'm very involved, I also very much defer to them on decisions that are not my area of expertise.
What is, I know Eli Manning's a minority owner of the team. What does he bring to the table?
Eli, you can't ask for a better minority partner than Eli. He has been, number one, just my biggest supporter, my biggest fan, texts me after all of these wins, saying, how happy he is for me and the team. But anything we have asked him to do, he has done. He has come out to games. He brings his kids. He brings people from his town. I think it just helps. And one of the things that I kind of said early on, and I think people maybe questioned it and are starting to appreciate it more, is we don't just want to be the best women's soccer team in the world. We want to be about one of the best soccer teams in the world. I think in a future state, we won't say, oh, that's my favorite women's soccer team. Right. That's my favorite soccer team. That's my favorite team, period. And I think Eli has really shown that is a, championship winning Super Bowl MVP player can love Gotham as much as, a woman that grew up playing soccer. And I think he's really helped break down those barriers.
Yeah, I love that. We're talking with Carolyn Tisch-Blodgett, elected chair of the NWSL Executive Committee. And while I have you, it's not a criticism, but I got to tell you, I'm being honest, I'm not really a fan of the neutral site championship game. What is the pulse of the NWSL to move it to the home field of the higher seed?
Well, I would be okay if I get criticism all day, so I would be totally fine if it was criticism. It's interesting. Someone else said that to me this past weekend, and having just figured out the logistics, talk about being in the weeds of like getting a charter flight to get from Orlando to San Jose with 2 hours notice was really complicated. So I can appreciate, all of New York had to get out to San Jose, all of Washington had to get out there. So I appreciate it. I think the model, so I think the thinking, I can't speak to the neutral side as much as just the thinking behind making the championship much bigger than it's been in the past. It shouldn't feel like just another game. Right. It should feel closer to the Super Bowl than I think it has in the past. So I think the league has done a really good job in building that out. They had their first award show like the NFL Honors on Wednesday. They had the Skills Challenge on Thursday or Friday. And then obviously the game on Saturday, so many partner events. So my sense is that would be really hard. And unlike the Super Bowl, there's no week in between. It just goes right from semifinals to finals. Right. So my sense is that would be really hard to pull off in a non-neutral site, but can totally appreciate how difficult it is for everyone to get out there. One thing I will say is I was really, so the game was sold out. There were 18,000 people there. Yep. I was really impressed by how loud it was and how many real fans of both teams there were. I've been to a lot of Super Bowls in my life, and sometimes it can actually feel really quiet because it's more corporate than it is fans. And this very much felt like the stadium was full of fans.
Carolyn, I wish I could talk to you all day. Last question here, and we've got a couple seconds, but always building, never finished. That was the motto. What's next for Gotham FC?
So that is and will always be our motto. That was not just this year. We are back to work. I mean, it's Saturday morning. Yael and I have been trading emails and text messages all morning talking about our roster next year, talking about we will have the busiest travel season of any team ever, I think, next year, knowing we're going to be in the FIFA Club World Cup, Club Championship Cup in January. We are now in the CONCACAF finals again in May. We will be in next year's CONCACAF tournament. We are now in the Challenge Cup. I mean, this team, no rest for the winners. So we have been talking about it all year. And I think what you'll see is we set out to be one of the best brands in the world, being one of the best teams in the world. You'll now continue to see us competing on the global stage.
Carolyn, thanks for your insight and making time for us today. I really appreciate it nationally.
Thank you. And thank you for being a fan.